video, I mentioned that we have to draw trend lines for entering into trades in the stock market, and drawing a trend lines gives us an opportunity both to enter and to retain the positions. We further discuss the same concept. As you would see, when we draw trend lines, the trend lines get breached at certain points, and as per rule, we have to exit the trades, and after ourselves exiting the trades, the prices follow the previous course of action, and we seem to miss certain aspects. So we have to find a way out how we can modify, or how we can be equipped in a better way to follow the trend. For that, I will show you some techniques. Starting with this, first let us draw a trend line. Mentioned earlier, in an uptrend, it is better to connect two successive bottoms. Here I connected the bottoms, extended them to the right. Now as you see, the trend line was breached here. So we exit the trade, but the price went up again. And again we will draw another trend line from the same bottom to the next bottom. Here we have drawn another trend line. We extend this to the right. Again also here the price went down. We exited the trade. Later subsequently the price went up again. So this way we are left with a sort of confusion whether to continue the trade or to exit. As per rules we discussed, we have to exit the trade. So we need to find ways which are better, and we will follow them easily so that the entry point is retained intact and the position is continued. So for that, what we do, generally what people do is they adopt the methodology of applying moving averages. As you know, average is computed by taking sum total of prices over a particular period of time, dividing by the period of that time. That way we get the average. We also get the same thing here done, so that a better methodology is applied for holding on to the stocks. I will show that to you. Now we will take on moving average. Here we take the moving average. So we have to decide on the time frame. How many days? Generally we take 20 days. Why? Because 20 days, as I mentioned earlier, stock exchange function 5 days a week, and in a month 20 days, 20 trading days will be there. So people generally take 20 days moving average for the purpose of taking investment decisions. We also take 20 days moving average. For visibility sake, I will increase the width of the line so that it becomes more clear and visible for us. Here it is. Then I have this. Now you can see very easily when price moves up the moving average line, it is giving a better opportunity for us compared to the trend line, so that we hold on to the position for a longer period than the trend lines. Here the price came out of the trend line, so we have to exit the position when again the price goes above the trend line, moving average line, we have to enter again. So generally what people do is they adopt at least two moving averages method. We have taken 20 days moving average as the directorial line, or the line based on which we take investment decisions. What people do is they take half of it as signal line. They add another moving average line, taking half of this, that is the longer term moving average, half of the period of the longer term moving average as a signal line. We will also see how it acts. We will now add 10 days moving average. Now we have 10 days moving average. It is 10 days, and for visibility sake, I will change the color to green, and I put more weight so that it becomes very clear. Now you can see when the short-term moving average or the signal line is above the long-term moving average and the price is above both of them, it is bullish and buys or longs are advised. When short-term moving average is below the long-term moving average, as you see here, and price below both of them, it signals a sell and shorts are advised. How then we have to frame certain trading rules based on moving averages. First one, when you adopt trading based on moving averages, you should always look at the slope of the moving average. That is of primary importance, very, very important. The basic inherent long-term trend is established, shown by the slope of the moving average. As you would see here, the slope of the moving average kept on increasing and increasing and increasing. There were certain areas where the price has come down, like here, and again here. Still, the slope is going on and on. The price, even though came down at certain points, usually went up. So the first thing you should look at is slope of the moving average. Next thing is the short-term moving average must be above the long-term moving average, as you would see here. Then price must be above both of them. This is for entering into long or buying the stock, for buying. And for selling, reverse. So look at the slope. It should be coming down. Short term should be below the long term, and price must be below both the prices. So that is the next thing. And again, you will see here. Here the short term moving average went above the long term moving average, and price moved over and above both of them, and market went up eventually. That is what happened here. That you can see very easily. And the next thing is, when the short term moving average comes down or goes up, meets the long-term moving average, fails to penetrate, it indicates continuation of the bullishness of that previous trend. For example, here the short-term moving average came down to long-term moving average, did not breach the long-term moving average, started going up again. It indicates very strong bull trend in the offing. And the same way, when the short-term moving average meets the long-term moving average from below and fails to penetrate that, it indicates bearishness. So this is the first thing. This is the second important point you have to keep in mind. And the third point is, when price comes to the moving average either from below or above and fails to penetrate it in the opposite direction, then there will be bullishness of the reversal of the trend. Here you can see price moved up, met the moving averages here, did not penetrate the moving average and came down. Later, the price moved down very, very speedily and with acceleration. And in the same way, when price comes up, comes from above, meets the moving average and did not penetrate the moving average, then the price will witness a bullish trend, as you would see here very easily. And at certain points of time, you will see the moving averages act both as support and resistance for the price. You can see here it acted as support, here you can see it acted as support, here you can see somewhere here you can see it acted as resistance. So these are the important concepts of moving averages. First slope, next short-term moving average and long-term moving average for price, and price above both of them. Price coming down from the top to the moving average and failing to penetrate it, or moving up and failing to penetrate it towards upside, so on and so forth. So these are the important trading rules for moving average. Very well said. But the thing is, can we apply this as a universal rule to all the stocks? Is it right to use 20 days moving average? Definitely not. Then what is the time frame or the periodicity of the moving average that explains best the price action of the stock? For that, the accepted methodology is this. people take the bottoms first. Here one bottom, here another bottom, here another bottom, here another bottom, fifth, sixth, seventh. So these 7 bottoms are taken. The time period between the 7 bottoms is calculated, and the average of the time bottom is taken, and half of that is taken as the moving average. That is one way of doing it. Now, with the availability of so many software programs, it has become somewhat easier. And beyond that, technical analysis has adopted other proven scientific methods into it, where we can apply more scientifically the various methodologies. One such is Fourier transformation. Fourier transformation is a physics phenomena which brings out the cycle length. It is actually not a technical analysis concept, it is a physics concept which is adopted by the technical analysis people. Here, the cycle length of the stock will be brought out, the longer term cycle length will be brought out. I will show you. Now, as you would see here, the longer term cycle length, the cycle length of the market is 585 days. As of now, the market went up relentlessly for more than 2-3 years. So generally the cycle length is more. So we take the 585 days as the cycle length and take half of it. What is the half of the cycle length? 585 days. 585 divided by 2 is 292.5 days. So we take 293 days as the long-term moving average. And we take half of it as signal line, 293 divided by 2. 293 divided by 2. We got 146.5. So we take 147 days as the signal line. 147 days. 147 days. I take the color as green for more visibility. Easily visible, right? Now you can see very well when the price, both the moving averages here, you can see the 47 days moving average has come to long-term moving average but did not penetrate it and start going up again. So eventually the market went up like anything. Here I told you it is always advisable to look at the slope. Here you can see the slope is going up and up and up. Here, even though the price has come down for some time, eventually the price went up. And as I mentioned, the act as support and resistance. Here, it acted as a support area. And you can see for now, till this place, that is 13/3/2020, when here on 26/2/2020, the price crossed both the moving averages signals and fell, and from here onwards the slope of the moving average started going down and it crossed here. So when the price crossed both the moving averages, you can see the fall in the price from 11,663 to it came down to 7,000 and odd. So there is a fall of around 4,000 points. So this way you can see, and here also you can see how the moving average acted as a support area. So these are the fundamental things and important things as far as moving averages are concerned. And we would like to know, based on the different perceptions of the trading personnel, whether the possibility of trend reversal can be assessed and to what extent the move can be anticipated. These are two fundamental issues every trader wanted to know. One thing, when the trend is likely to reverse, and if reversal, to what extent it will go. For that, based on moving average, there is one great indicator called as Bollinger. So you know. Bollinger Bands are three bands composed. The middle band is the 20-day simple moving average of the close, and the upper band is two standard deviations added to this 20 middle band, and the lower band is two standard deviations of the middle band deducted from it. So you can see there are three bands, one lower, one middle, and one upper. This is the computation of the Bollinger Bands. Why standard deviation? Standard deviation is the best measure of volatility. Always remember, best measure of volatility is standard deviation. That's why Bollinger selected this. And now we come to how to trade based on Bollinger Bands. That is very important. As I mentioned, is it possible to anticipate a trend reversal? And if so, to what extent the likely move will be? These are the two things. The first thing is a move started at one band will reach the other band. That is the first thing. You can see here, the move started here. Sorry. The move started here and eventually it came down, but later it went up. So the move started here will reach the other band. So it reached up to this place. Remember, because there are three bands, it does not necessarily mean that move started at lower band will reach the upper band. It will definitely reach the middle band. It may or may not reach the upper band. That is the first thing. Move started at one band will reach the other band. That is the first point. Second point, when the size of the bands shrink, they come close. You can see here the width. Now you can see here the width. The width of the bands have come closer. They have become short and shrink. So the shrinkage in width of the bands will indicate in trend reversal. In that is more certain. You can see here, from here onwards, the price fell like anything. And again, the bands shrunk here and the price started moving up again. And again, the bands shrunk and the prices fell down. This is the second rule. Third rule is when prices move out of the bands, present trend is likely to continue. You should very carefully listen each and every word and understand it. The word used is likely to continue. It is not at all mandatory or compulsory. It is the way, it is the most likely possibility. Here you can see when price moved out of lower band, it went down for some time. And again, it went down from here to here, right? And again, it went down from here when the prices came down here. Like this, when prices move out of the band, present trend is most likely to continue. That is the third one. And as you would see that when the prices reaches the top band, generally after a long duration, then you can assume that it is a very possibility the prices will likely to come down from there because the volatility will be lessened and the bullishness of the market will slow down. People tend to take profits when the gap is more and the prices travel a longer distance in a volatile market. So these are the important rules for trading based on Bollinger Bands. And for those who are interested in knowing more about Bollinger Bands, can download a book from the net, Bollinger on Bollinger Bands, which is a very good book on Bollinger Bands, which helps you in taking trading decisions. We meet in the next video with more trend lines and other indicators. Till then, bye bye. Thank you very much.